Hi. We at it again. I believe this is the 5th day of Christmas. I'm not really keeping count. I'm not even writing scripts, so we're finally getting to the final spirit of Christmas, though technically they're angels in this series. We have the angel of Christmas future, and I've been dreading this one a lot because the present was already hard enough, but trying to do concepts of the future without it being robots, that's kind of hard, for me at least. So this one was a real challenge, despite the recording of me drawing being the shortest at only 13 minutes long. Now, continuing with the theme of having each angel look like the same one but aged up, this one is the tallest and is the oldest. I gave them a skeletal face. I made their wings old and nearly featherless, and their horn is pretty overgrown. I wanted to try and show even more of that just almost malnourishment by giving them a big robe, and I feel like this is the elephant in the room. A lot of people make Christmas future basically just the Grim Reaper, and I was trying really hard to avoid that because I feel like there's a lot more you can do with the concept of something representing the future of Christmas. And yes, in the future there will always be death. That's just a part of life. So there are some little themes in the design to the Grim Reaper, like the big robe, the tail being curved in a way that almost looks like the iconic scythe, and the, skeletal face. But I didn't want that to just be all there was, because that wouldn't be an interesting video, and it wouldn't be an interesting design. It would just be the Grim Reaper all over again, but with a slightly different face. So one of the biggest things I did was, while designing on paper, I tried to avoid as much monochrome as possible. I tried to add color where I could, so I remembered that Christmas Present was blonde. So I made Christmas Future blonde as well, just paler to show that, they've aged. And while on the topic of colors, I decided that the robe was gonna be shades of blue instead of just gray. You can see that I tried to make the hood a dark gray, but I didn't end up liking that. Now, this probably would have been fine enough on its own, but it still wasn't screaming enough of the future to me. I wanted more themes about the future. So what I ended up deciding on was to decorate the robe with fake little constellations, because for a lot of human history, people have looked at the stars and such for the future. Even in stuff like the Bible, there's the use of stars to show the future of salvation and stuff. The biggest example being, the Star of Bethlehem. So I thought it was a very fitting thing to use stars. You'll notice that again when I use the color black, it's just part of the outline. You can see that underneath the hood, and you can see it in the feathers. And speaking of the feathers, I can't believe I forgot this in the outline segment, but I drew some of the feathers falling down from their head to show that they are actively aging and things are actively falling away. Just like as you age, all of your youthfulness will fade, and that's just your future. It's everyone's future. The horns, I decided were going to be a silver color, partly to reference gray hairs, and also because silver is a really nice Christmas color to pair with blues. So I thought it was just a great fit overall, like it was destined to be. Now for shading, I try to keep some faded flaws in mind from my past videos, and that was I have dark colors, so I need to be prepared to use a dark color to shade that instead of my usual bright color. For everything that wasn't darkly colored, we used a regular, just royal blue that was used for under the hair, for a bit of the tail, pretty much anywhere that needed that kind of shading. It was also used to give some dimension to the horn, since there's some behind the main horn, there's some in front. It helped to differentiate the mess. And then for stuff like the cloak, which was pretty darkly colored, I almost used a black. At first, I thought I wouldn't even have to use the multiple setting, but I kind of did because of the light of the constellations, and it would look weird if it just randomly got cut off by shading. And I will say, I think it with the multiple layer on, it looks a lot better than if I had just left it as it was. And I remembered the halo. I wanted this halo to be a bit duller than the others. Not because the future is grim, but, you know, the future's foggy and we don't know what's gonna happen exactly. So it almost ended up looking like a black hole, where the further into the rings you go, the darker it gets until it's pitch black. And I think that frames the head pretty well, considering the hood already kind of does that. So it's not too flashy, it's not gonna distract from the design at all, I don't think. And here we go, this is the finished product. I was a little worried that this video would be ridiculously short, but I think I was able to manage to get a lot out of this that I previously thought I couldn't. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait for tomorrow, even though I have no idea what's going to be for that day. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.